Evening all. Just going over preps. We're in Imbolc, approaching spring. I like to make all my butter substitutions for recipes and that sort of thing now. So if you have old apples lying about, or you buy some apples that are on sale because they're not as fresh, they're kind of perfect to grab right now, and basically chop them up without the stems, of course. Doesn't have to be fancy, just in order to fit a pot with water. Basic rule of thumb I use is I will fill at least half the pot. So pick a pot that you will fill half the depth in water with, if that makes sense. So if you put your apples and they're up to here, you would then get a pot and they're up to here, you would then fill the water so it's also up to there. And you just basically boil them down, or put the heat up high and then lower the heat, boil them down, simmer for about 20 minutes, depending on how many apples and how ripe they are, etc., and how big your pot is. But just keep an eye on it. So basically they will break down into like an apple pie sort of consistency, and I will then just actually not blend it in the pot because I have stone cookware. I will just pour the liquid and the apple mush into a big bowl and blend it with a hand blender, and voila, applesauce. And the beauty of applesauce is you can use it as, instead of oil or butter, in making scones, in making bread, in cake recipes, in loaves, you name it. So anything that you would have to use oil to bind, especially things like grain recipes like flour, etc., including making your own toasted oatmeal. So if you do what I do, I put my oats either in depending on my time, etc., I'll either put them into a non-stick roasting pan over a low heat all day to roast once I've coated the oats in the applesauce and spice, or I will pop them onto a large crock pot and on really low heat as long as I can get it, and stirring once every hour or two all day to dry out and roast as well for my own granola. But yeah, I couldn't recommend this enough. I've even made donuts which are really yummy using applesauce instead of oil, and it's yummo. Pancake mix, you can use them in pancake mix too. So you name it. So this is something I recommend everyone to do, and Imbolc's a good time to do it because there is a little bit of an emphasis on things like butter on bread, if you know what I mean. So this is a good non-fat way and vegan way and ethical way, which makes sense. I mean, how can you be in tune with nature and the earth and not be ethical to her? That just doesn't make sense, or against the natural order of things. So anyways, I will actually put in the description links to quite a few different applesauces I've made, which have a breakdown step by step on how to do it. So go down to the description and you will see how to make them, and yeah, get cracking with your applesauce. Blessed be.